Are you ready for breakfast? Tap your feet if you're ready for breakfast.
So let yourself get comfortable. The intention of this meditation is to start to shift how you talk to yourself. I am enough, just as I am. I am worthy of love and belonging.
Fully stocked with Nespresso pods. I am so excited. This does not happen all the time when we do our Target run for the Starbucks pods and Nespresso delivery lines up well. The opportunities are endless. I think I'll go with the Veranda blend this morning. And my new favorite mug just came in, so I'm so excited to use her. She has the Kindest Cool logo on one side and the sweet little wildflowers on the back. Coffee is done. Do not mind my pimple patches that I just put on my breakouts. This is so weird that I'm breaking out right now because it doesn't really line up with my hormonal cycle. But I woke up with pimples all on my jawline. That sometimes means stress too, but anyways, just please ignore. I love these pimple patches from Target. We got a very late start this morning because Ren kept us up last night. She was really going crazy. 20-30 minutes after she went to bed, she was like screaming. And I know we've talked about sleep training and we definitely stick to sleep training, but when they're screaming and clearly in need of us, like we go in, pick them up, make sure they're okay. Sienna finally had her first tooth come through and Ren is right behind her. So I think they're teething. She sounded a little bit congested. She was really gassy. It was just a combination of things. So went in with Ren, held her, soothed her, made sure she was okay. She stayed down and then she was down for a while. It wasn't until her first wake up was 1. Jonathan went in and gave her a binky. It was super quick. And then she was up again at 4 and Jonathan went in and said that he thought she needed a diaper change. She ended up not needing a diaper change. She just needed to be held and consoled. And some nights it's okay to do that. It doesn't set you back. You know your baby, and if they need you, you know when it's beyond just they're tired, they want to be held for no other reason other than they want to be held. You know your baby. So anyways, we were up a good amount of the night, so we both slept until 7:30. The girls didn't wake up. We were like, whoops. We usually get up at 7, a little bit before 7 to get breakfast ready and then get them up at 7, whatever. It's a whole thing. We were clearly really tired, so later start this morning. That's okay. And I am particularly tired because this past week I actually got back into working out, seriously working out. I have periodically tried to get on my spin bike and I'll do 1 workout a week just when I really feel like I need it, but I haven't gotten into a routine. But the last week, maybe 2 weeks now, I have been getting up between 5 and 6 a.m. to get an hour workout in before the girls wake up. I've taken classes outside of my home. I've gone in my basement and done some home workouts, and it's made such a difference. I feel so good after I get the workout in. I'm not tired, I'm more energized. It's just been really wonderful, but I feel like my body was telling me last night, you're tired, sleep in. You don't have to get up that early every morning, obviously. I'm really just shooting for 3 times a week right now. That feels attainable. Got the girls in their high chairs for breakfast. They had omelets. They did their straw cups. In the afternoon, we'll do open mouth cups. We try to alternate and just see what happens today. Yesterday was really fun too. The girls had their 9-month doctor's appointment. We were so eager. It's so crazy when you have babes, you know that you see a doctor when they're 1 month, 2 months, 4 months, 6 months, and then all of a sudden you go from 6 to 9 months and you don't get a checkup. So it's nerve-wracking. We were anxious, but we knew they were perfect and the doctor confirmed that, so we're all good. We went and celebrated at this park up near our doctor's office and took the girls on swings. They love swings, and I'll insert a clip here. I think Jonathan took a clip of us yesterday. It was so sweet. They could have stayed on those swings all night long. It was so fun. I told Jonathan I want to get that swing for our backyard. Going to be a great weekend today. The weather is horrible. Oh, and the light just went off. What was I saying? Oh, the weather today is so gross. I don't even think we can get out for a walk. It's supposed to rain and just be dreary. We're hoping that these days are behind us soon. The weather is definitely starting to warm up in New England. Thank goodness. I want to be out of the house as much as possible. But we do still have some fun things in store for today. Gonna get some things done around the house. We are gonna get out and go thrifting this afternoon after their afternoon nap. I have a few things that I've been wanting to buy and I've been putting off because I know that I could get these things at thrift stores. It's just a matter of making the effort to go out and do that. I'm going to just sip my coffee for a few minutes before we put the gals down. And I know I just showed, and I've talked about before, my merch you can still get on my website, which is linked down below in the description. It's always down there for you to shop. If you're in need of a new coffee mug, we can sip our coffee together and be cozy. I have been loving all of you tagging me in your photos on Instagram so that I can see you in my merch. It makes me so happy and it does make me feel a little bit more connected to you guys. So definitely shop if you're interested. The link is down below. And I'll check in a little bit. Hi.
Go grab it.
Stanky leg? Who remembers these as a kid? The nostalgia. Oh, of course. Daddy. Were you reading?
'Tis the season.
Oh my god, wait, you pulled this one out?
I was gonna try, but I
No,
didn't.
oh my gosh, no, I'm not ready. I don't even know if I've talked about this book on here, you guys. Oh my god, I'm literally getting emotional looking at this.
Yeah, that book is rough.
When our daughters were in the NICU, the head doctor of the NICU, we became very, very close with, and as we left and graduated the NICU, she gave us this book, and oh my god, Jonathan and I literally tried to read it the first week they were home, and we both started crying, and we closed it and haven't looked back. Don't worry, Dermot, we still love you. We'll still listen to you. If you saw my last vlog, you know what I'm talking about.
If you know, you know.
If this whole town slowed down, would you ever come back?
You listening? You have nap time soon, Mama. Yeah. Just me and Dobby. We just got the girls down for their morning nap. It went surprisingly well, given that they had a weird morning with sleep. I wanted to sit down and chat about stress and anxiety. I know for me, I am a mom. I don't have a lot of time to focus on myself and my own mental health, which is not good. It's something I'm working on, but I often just say, let me get through it, this will pass. I'm starting to shift my mindset and I'm looking into things that I can incorporate into my everyday life to help me get through these periods of stress and anxiety that don't take a ton of time, that allows me to really center myself and prioritize my thoughts, my emotions, my feelings, all of that. And so in my research, I did come across the app Aura, and this app has been incredible. I have been using it for a little while now. You heard a little bit this morning while I was making my bed. I had a meditation going for about 5 minutes. I'm not someone that can really sit down and just meditate in the mornings, but if I can turn something on that helps my mind get into a healthy space while I'm doing something that I do every day, like make my bed, I love that. And so Aura is an all-in-one app that helps with your sleep. It helps with your overall mindfulness. There are meditations, there are stories. So if you're not someone that wants to really lean into meditation, traditional meditation work, you can listen to stories that help calm your mind. And they have different opportunities to tune into your spirituality. They have coaches for breath work. They do a lot of cognitive behavioral therapy. And it has won the Best of Apple award. It is used by over 7 million people. And it's not a one-size-fits-all. The opportunities are endless for you to find something easily that is what you need in that moment. And it's just been so incredible, truly. I've never been into apps before, but this has changed the game for me. And this is the dashboard. So it has meditation, sounds, life coaching, stories, music, emotions, prayer, like anything to meet your needs they will have. This morning, for example, I hit meditation and I scrolled through the different options they were promoting to me, and I went with the I Am Enough. I like shorter, more intentional options to listen to. It feels a little bit more realistic for my schedule. I really would never recommend anything that hasn't actually worked for me and improved my overall well-being. So I'm excited that I'm working with Aura, and I do have a discount code for you guys. It is so easy to sign up, and it is completely free using my link that I'll have on the screen here and down below in the description box. The first 500 people that sign up get a completely free trial and 25% off once the trial ends, which is such a good deal. The best investment is in you and your mental health. So check them out. It's a free trial, and let me know if it's worked for all of you guys if you end up signing up. Well, this is the face of a girly pop that did not want a nap. Got a little contact snuggles in. She's not feeling good. I can just tell, like, you know, when they just can't really breathe. She wouldn't even take a binky really because it made it harder for her to breathe because she can't breathe out of her nose. And so this last nap, after like 20 minutes, she was up, and we let her cry for a little bit, but again, you just know when your baby needs you. So we did like 30 minutes of contact napping. Then I tried to put her back in the crib just so that even if she didn't go back to sleep, she at least knew I have to be in my crib. This is where I sleep. And so she didn't like that too much, and we ended up waking her up early, and Sissy got up early too. Huh. Mommy didn't mind a little snuggles. And we're debating giving her a little bit of Tylenol. They don't sleep really well with Tylenol, and it's just not as good on their little bodies sometimes. So I'm debating, but she doesn't feel warm. You don't feel too warm to me. We'll see. She'll be okay. She's still happy. Also, while I'm in here, I pulled out these ball pit balls that I actually ordered for the girls' first birthday in June. Yes, I'm aggressive with my party planning. But anyways, I saw this fun sensory activity that I want to try with the girls, that you use ball pit balls and muffin tins and tape, and it's kind of a fun little puzzle for them. So gonna try that during this week window. Cleaned the muffin tin, even though it does not look like it. I swear it is clean. Got my little sick duckling over there. We did just give her Tylenol, so we'll see how that goes. And I wanted to put together this little fun activity. So I have blue painter's tape and my little balls of fun over there. It's so hard when one baby gets sick because normally we, you know, interchange their burp cloths, their binkies, everything, but now we need to keep track of like who uses what because we don't want anyone getting the other baby sick. Special delivery for
Wait to see these.
Mama. I was telling the vlog that I have been getting back into working out, and I haven't bought new sneakers since I trained for the marathon, which was 2019. So I bought sneakers in like 2018, and I've just been using those, and they are running sneakers. I have one pair, or I had one pair that were good for like HIIT workouts and lifting too, but pretty much I always just had running sneakers. But right now I'm really into like doing HIIT workouts and cardio occasionally, and I feel like there's only sneakers out there that are either for running or for working out, like in a gym, lifting, whatever.
Yeah, you need a cross trainer.
You need, yeah, but like there's not a lot of sneakers out there that are good for both. And so I was doing research for hybrid sneakers, and Lululemon, theirs just like sold to me. It just seemed like they were the cutest, honestly, and the most practical for what I was looking for, because I didn't want to buy 2 new pairs of sneakers. That's like wasteful to me because I'm not running hardcore or working out hardcore in a gym. I just need a perfect medium. So anyways, I told Jonathan that I bought them, and he's more excited than me.
Dude,
because I didn't
they
know
only
you...
make them in women's. I might buy a pair if you like them.
You can. You can buy anything you want. Like women's and men's label doesn't matter. If you like a sneaker, you can buy it. Got the all black ones. I was between the all black or the all white, but I feel like the black. So these are the low rise ones. They have ones with higher ankle support, but I feel like these are perfect. Yeah, you like it? Getting so sick of putting my hair in a boring long ponytail that just looks like a horse's mane. There's no volume to my hair at all. I was just telling Jonathan, I think I'm going to do something drastic with my hair. I've kept it long and brunette for so long, and Jonathan's like so sad at the thought of it not being long and brunette anymore.
True.
But you're encouraging me to lean into good change.
Yeah. Makes you happy.
I just feel like I need a total change, and I feel like it's coming. What do you think? Does this look fun? Alright, the woman used blue painter's tape, I think because like the bright contrast of color as opposed to like a clear tape, but I am worried they're definitely at the stage where they grab everything and put it in their mouth, so I think this needs to be a supervised activity. Yeah, you're gonna feel better soon. Bless you. Bless you. Okay, boogers. Okay, finished product. Looks real nifty. Whoa.
You figured that out pretty quick.
Oh my god. No tape. Oh, thank you. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sienna, good crawling, mama. Come here. Okay, just air fried some green beans with olive oil, rice vinegar, salt and pepper with a side of avocado. I feel like this week I've just eaten a lot of crap, just want to reset. So we're going to do this and then cancel the reset with a really indulgent dinner. Hi, mama. Hi. Yeah. Come here. I love you. I love you. What is that? Let's read a book. How about Winnie the Pooh? Whoa, Christopher Robin? Oh my, thought Piglet. Oh my. Is that Tigger bouncing? Bounce, 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 bounce. Why? There's nothing to it, Rabbit said. Yeah. Okay, Jonathan just took the couch cushions off and put them down here, and we're going to practice showing the girls how to safely get down from a couch, similar to how we are practicing on the stairs. And we can have them like stand up on these cushions and practice standing. Kiki, putting toys on the couch. Oh, they love that one. You're gonna get down off the couch. How do you get down? Good job. Look at that bum.
Standing.
Excuse me, ma'am. Who gave you permission? Good job. Yeah. I know it's happy feet. Yeah. Yay.
That yellow definitely.
I know, that's, no, it looks like it, but it's not. Okay. Just got the girls down for their afternoon nap. And I need a snack. I have been eating the dark chocolate bar from Trader Joe's in the afternoons the past few weeks, and it's so good. It fills me up and gives me a little bit of energy too because of the chocolate. That's what we're gonna go for right now. Jonathan and I are actually going to sit down right now and answer some of your questions around baby-led weaning. I posted a question box on my Instagram story yesterday, honestly because a mother reached out and asked for us to talk about our experience because she was really nervous to start. And I realized that we've kind of kept our solids journey to ourselves for a while because I was really nervous at first and I wanted the girls to just learn and take those first steps behind closed doors, like just between our family. And now that it's been 2 months, we're still in it. We're still incorporating new foods every week. We're still learning, but I feel like the experience is fresh in our minds and I want to just talk about it and again just offer our experiences. I'm not an expert. Jonathan and I did a lot of research and took a lot of courses online and tried to really familiarize ourselves with the best way to incorporate solids, the way that we did it, which is baby-led weaning. And so we feel good about how we prepared ourselves. We're going to go through all of your questions that you asked on Instagram. Jonathan's going to join me in a minute to talk about his experiences too, because he is definitely less of a nervous Nelly than I am, and he has had such a good mindset on, you know, testing our girls and pushing them and allowing them to, or allowing ourselves to have trust in them that they can do this. And so I really wanted his perspective also. You all asked some really good questions, so I'm super excited to go through them. And also, I didn't even really say in this video specifically what baby-led weaning is, but I have talked about it in other videos. Essentially, it's a way of starting solids with your child that allows them to really take the lead. You don't spoon feed them, you don't feed them at all, they feed themselves. You put foods that are properly prepared for like safety and so they don't choke in front of them, and then they feed themselves. And it's crazy the amount of foods that you can feed your child starting at like 6 months. We followed solid starts. That has been our go-to pretty much primarily. So highly recommend Solid Starts, and we did pay the bundle.
It's so worth it, just because it's like a constant resource.
Yeah.
Like we went into it not knowing that there was an app, and having the app, it's just so easy.
Yeah, there's
to,
an app. You can track all the foods they eat, what they don't like, allergens. Solid Starts is just such a great resource, and we bought the bundle. It has a ton of training videos. We watched like 2 hours of training videos before we started. There's resource guides that we continuously refer to. I just really want to plug Solid Starts, and I do think it's worth the investment. They have some free resources too, but there's no price that's too much to pay for like the safety of your child and incorporating solids in this way. So, agree?
Agree.
This is something that I saw in here a lot. Do you also offer purees or only solids? Because I think people think that it's either do Solid Starts and baby-led weaning or do purees. And the truth is that you can do a combination of both. We've chosen to not do baby food, like pre-made baby food purees and things like that. That is your traditional spoon feeding of the child. We don't do that at all. But we do foods that are in like puree forms, like applesauce. We do peanut butter with
peas,
yogurt.
potato.
Yeah, we get it to a puree form, but we give them the spoon and they feed themselves. So if you're nervous and apprehensive, you can do that as an option. You don't have to only do solids, like solid foods.
100%.
Were you nervous at first? What calmed your nerves?
The only thing that will calm your nerves is like gaining trust in your child. I feel like the first time you do it, you've done everything for them up to that point of their life. The trust comes from reps, honestly. Like you just have to do it. If you go into it as prepared as you possibly can, like again, Court said, we watched the videos. We knew what things looked like. You just have to pay attention and look for the right sign. If you're as prepared as you can and you're willing to go into it and trust your kid, then that's where you'll earn the trust from.
Watching those videos that Jonathan mentioned and exposing yourself to babies that do gag, like our daughters gagged so much at the beginning. It's scary, but now rarely gag. If they do, it's just because a big piece gets down in their mouth and they need to get it out, and they know how to do that now.
They're mapping their mouth, so everything that changes with them, like their size, their mouth, like the things they learn how to do, the foods they learn how to take in. Sienna's getting a tooth now, so she's able to take bites of things. So it's like they're constantly making this map of their mouth.
Before solids, they only know milk, where they're sucking on a bottle and it goes right to the back of their throat. Now they're exploring, creating a map of their mouth to understand, how do I get this food down to a size it's safe for me to swallow, and then how do I swallow it? So you have to let them learn.
Yeah.
And it can be scary, but it gets easier.
Right.
How do you handle gagging, if any? There's different levels. I mean, again, they gagged a lot at first. Basically, what they teach you in Solid Starts is when your child is gagging, you need to remain calm because they are looking for you to make sure they're okay. So you have to be calm, get at their eye level, show them how to spit food out. If they're coughing, if they're still red, if they're just like showing signs that they're okay and they're not like struggling to breathe, you know that they're just working through this. It's when they're silent, when their eyes are watering, when they look scared, that's when you have to look out for that. And we haven't had that happen.
Gagging is your best friend. Like, that is the most natural protection we have against choking, is our gag reflex. So they're learning that if they're gagging, their body's doing the right thing. It's reacting the right way. It's not supposed to bring that down into the air pipe. Gagging's a good thing. They're learning how to protect themselves, and it's second nature. As much as we just talked about trusting your child, like they have to trust you, and they're gonna look to you for a sense of calm and am I okay? They just have to know that like what they're doing, they're just exploring a new skill. And this was kind of difficult for us. Like as soon as you see them start gagging, you want to lean into like the okay, spit it out, but like you have to let them try to chew. You got to show them the chewing motions as much as you show them the gagging motions. And the comfort only comes from like reps.
Most of the time, they're gonna work through it, they're gonna swallow it, or they're gonna spit it out. Like it's incredible to watch how well your child learns.
Yeah.
And something to note with this is that a lot of people say like, no, baby-led weaning is too early. They shouldn't be starting solids till later or whatever. But what sold me on it was, what if your child is 10 months old with their little cousins at a party, gets hold of something and puts it in their mouth and doesn't know what the heck to do with it because it's a solid item and they don't know the map of their mouth. And now because they know how to get rid of things that are not safe, like your child will know how to get that object out of their mouth. And that's important to me because kids can get into things early on, and the earlier that you teach them, the better chance you have of them not choking. What order did you introduce the foods, and did you follow a guide? Mentioned Solid Starts. We followed the first 100 days guide, and We didn't follow it specifically. We just looked at what foods are safe to start with, what foods have been proven to be the best choices, and we went off of that. One thing that I love about starting solids is that you're teaching your baby to eat the foods that you eat, to incorporate them into your everyday routine. We've done a good job at trying to choose foods that we eat in our everyday life. I don't really want to say exactly what we did because that's so personal, and there are a lot of resources out there to help you. How did you talk about this with other relatives and family who are judgmental about the process? We definitely have people in our life that were nervous about feeding our kids this way. Like my mom, she's been incredible and literally has done everything we've needed her to because she is a primary caregiver, but she was super nervous at first. She's like, you didn't have a solid food until after you were one and whatever. It's very unfamiliar, but it's just a conversation. You need to make sure they know this is what we're going to do. I sent my mother and Jonathan's mom the Solid Starts resource guides. I asked them to watch the videos.
Information is power, so the more they learned about it, the more they were on board.
Yep. If you do the research and educate yourself on the benefits of feeding your children through baby-led weaning, I think you'd be surprised at.
Yeah, there's no right way to do any of this.
Nope. It's whatever you choose. What happens if they get an allergic reaction? Do the doctors give you EpiPens?
The best thing you can do is try something. If you're prone to it or your partner is prone to it, we heard a lot of people saying, you know, just like a dab on their lips. And if you want to be even more extreme, you can more extreme. You want to be more cautious. You can just do it near a hospital.
I was gonna say
or like,
a parking lot of a hospital.
For us, we took it pretty slow. Neither of us had like an allergy background.
And in our family.
Yeah, so we did like a small like teaspoon of whatever allergen we were trying that week and like yogurt, and we just increased that amount over the first like 3 days that we tried it.
They say to introduce an allergen for 3 days because normally an allergic reaction will not reveal itself day 1. It's day 2 or day 3. So we always did like almond butter, sunflower butter, peanut butter like for 3 days. And like Jonathan said, you can't just give your baby a blob of peanut butter or nut butter in general. It's a choking hazard, but you can water it down with breast milk, formula. We did yogurt. We've mixed it in applesauce. Now we smear a little bit of it on some toast, and they love it. Tips for daycare or a nannied baby. Would you just do breakfast and dinner essentially when they're with mom and dad? That's situational. Eventually, you probably would be comfortable with having them do it once the baby's learned, but I think having it be controlled with you and your partner or you doing it with your baby, I would suggest that. Just so that you can watch and observe and learn your baby, I think it's important for you to be involved. When you're starting solids, you only need to do solids once a day for the first month or so. We're very lucky that we've, again, had family to be involved, so I don't know what I would do, I guess I should say, if we didn't have family caregivers. But make your own decision, and if you talk with your daycare or you talk with the nanny and they seem like they're on board with you, or maybe they've done this before, then yeah, have them go for it. That's just again, this is personal.
Yeah,
so
it's all comfort level.
So do we just constantly panic they'll choke until they're 18? No, hopefully not. As much as we're so comfortable and they continue to impress us with how well they're doing. As parents, we're always going to worry, but it's like exactly what Jonathan said, learning to trust them. How did this work with twins? Do you find it hard to concentrate on both at once? Whenever they're doing solids, there's always 2 tentative adults there, observing, watching for anything that can happen, because your eyes are on one baby and the other baby, something can happen in a split second.
Yeah.
And that's what they say when you even watch these trainings. They say always have a tentative adult on your baby. So you need 2 for twins. As they get better, we want to get to a point where one person can feed them, but we're not there yet. And it is challenging to answer that question. How many bottles and ounces at 9 months, and how many solid meals each day? So this is a good question, and I won't even speak specifically to 9 months. I will say that right now, at 9 months, they're doing 4 bottles a day of 6 ounces each. So 24 ounces total, and then 2 solids a day, 2 solid meals a day. Mm-hmm. We're going to, over the next few weeks, start doing 3 solid meals a day and get down to 3 bottles. You want to make sure they're full at nighttime so that they're sleeping through the night. That's the biggest indication of, do they need more food? Do they need more milk?
Anywhere between, I think it's like 24, 26 ounces to 32 ounces is what they need a day. And so you kind of just like play with those numbers until you can incorporate your solids.
What were the girls' favorite first foods? And did you stress about the amount they ate, or just let it be and continued on your normal bottle feeding schedule at 6 months and on? I would say, eggs, they love omelets. That's like their favorite thing. Oranges right now.
Sweet potato.
Sweet potato. Oh yeah, we haven't done that in a while.
It's a huge hit, and no matter the form, they always love it.
And then banana pancakes. Dad makes those like once or twice a week, and they love them. Strawberry pancakes. You have to get the strawberries down to puree, and then we literally just make 3-ingredient pancakes. It's either oat or wheat flour, a fruit, and eggs. Mix it up, throw it on the stove.
A little bit of water if you need to, because they can't have whole milk until they're like 9 months. So if you need to like make it a little bit like thinner, you can use breast milk formula or just water.
Yep.
We do water.
I always thought whole milk was until a year, but our doctor told us yesterday that we could start with whole milk now.
Yep.
Personal preference yet again.
For the first couple months, it's really just an activity. Like, you don't measure how much they eat. They kind of tell you when you're done. You may some days tell them when they're done. Like if all the food's on the floor and there's just none left.
Yes.
Yeah, and
so don't
everybody's
stress.
done. So yeah, it's you don't have to count, how many bites or anything like that, or get into the nitty gritty. It's just an activity for them to like learn. It's as sensory as it is learning a new skill. If you have like a rock star baby that loves to eat and most of the food gets down, they'll tell you they're full with the bottle. So like you don't have to worry about the food more. So like if they don't finish the bottle, then maybe they're eating enough. You know? So like,
and we haven't gotten to that point yet. Like the girls always finish
the
their
girls always
bottles.
finish.
Did you wait until they were sitting up by themselves?
The rule of thumb we used was like the lips follow the hips. So if they were gonna sit in their high chair and they were just gonna slouch over, we weren't gonna feed them. So until they could sit in their high chair and be upward, sit up. We weren't going to put them in the chair.
No. I've just started. Any first food recommendations? Love to you and the twins. So again, I would follow solid starts. I think that we've touched on some foods that we've given to them, so feel free to try those. But do foods that you have in your home that you know you'll continue to eat and go from there. With every food, there's an option on how to serve based on their age, and it shows you literally how to prepare the food. So we just followed that for everything.
Always cut things in bigger sizes when you're first starting. Like the rule of thumb is like 2 fingers and things like that, or the width of 2 like adult fingers on pieces that you give them.
You start to learn on your own how to prepare foods based on just doing it over and over again, but just solid starts. I can't recommend them enough. Again, they have an app, so it's so easy. My baby is 6 months. Were you scared, nervous? I am, but I'm trying it now. Advice, touched on that a lot, but the best advice is just to dive in, but do your research before you do that. Did you start later to adjust for their prematurity? Yes. We didn't start until 7 months.
Well, they were sick. We were going to start at 6 months, but they were sick.
Some people start at 4 months if their baby seems ready, if they are like sitting up, if they show a lot of interest in food. We haven't really said that, but that's a good way to know if your child is ready, if they're just interested. You're supposed to eat in front of them a lot before you start solids. So if they're just showing interest, then go for it. But our girls, we just knew weren't ready. Again, with their adjusted age, they're always 6 weeks behind. So we started about 6.5 months. What to do if they bite a big piece off? It scares me so much.
It is scary, but you know that gag reflex is there for a reason. Encourage them to chew. When it gets to a point where you need to encourage them to spit it out. You never put your fingers in their mouth, but the first opportunity I get to kind of grab it, when it's out of their mouth.
When it's like right here.
Yeah, on their chin, just wipe that thing out. A good way to avoid it is always making sure what's on their plate is something you feel comfortable with them having. I know a lot of times you and I will see a small piece on the table and we're like, all right, that's something that they could easily choke on. We're just gonna take that one away. Courtney, every now and again, will just like pop quiz me on baby CPR.
Yeah.
Like how many pats, how many concussions. And it's just like you don't ever want to be in one of those worst case scenarios. But if you are, you want to make sure that you know them. So like keeping yourself fresh on
baby CPR,
life-saving skills.
Which reminds me, we have to learn or relearn in toddler CPR soon because it's different. Do you have a life vac? We don't have the life vac, but it's the same thing. It's the dechoker. They're both very similar, and we did order. When I was pregnant, I did order 3.
And your parents have them?
And my parents have them, yes. Because I wanted one in our car and one in our home. These are essentially life-saving dechokers where you put something over the person that is choking's face and you pump in and you pull out the lodged food that they're choking on. And it seems dramatic. It may not be for everybody, but for me, I just want to have it on hand. I'll always do CPR first, the Heimlich first.
Just call 911.
Call 911, but if you get into a situation, you just hear that these things can save lives. How long did it take them to stop gagging so much?
They'll never stop gagging because they're always going to be trying to take bigger bites, or they're going to be trying new foods. But you just get more comfortable with it, and they get more comfortable with it. So it's not always like this dramatic gag. It's like a little little thing, and they move on.
When they first started, they would gag just with food in their mouth because they were like, what the heck? Now it's like if food just gets to an uncomfortable position, maybe towards the back of their throat, they'll just gag it forward. So they still gag, to your point, but it's not just because they're eating, they're gagging. That's how it was at first.
Yeah.
How do you get over the nervousness of them choking, or does it not go away? I'm having a hard time feeding my 8-month-old without being on the verge of tears each time she eats. I know. It is nerve-wracking. Like, I cannot say enough that I still get nervous. Some days I'm like not looking forward to the feed still because we're trying a new food that I'm just a little apprehensive about. It's normal, but you just have to trust your baby. That's all that I can say.
And it always depends on the circumstance. But if it gets to the point where you think that, it may not be something that, you can 100% handle, have someone else just like sit in with you to give you that validation that your baby's doing great. We go back and forth on different foods make us nervous. Some foods, it just is what it is, and you just got to kind of know that they're going to do it, and they can do it.
They can do it. Do they have to have teeth to do this, and do you offer water yet? They're cutie pies. Thanks.
Teeth is like a misconception. Like, they don't need to have teeth. Like, you can still chew things without teeth, but
Yeah.
obviously there's things that you're limited to. And then water, we kind of did water right away.
Open mouth cups is how we started, like right at 6.5 months when we incorporated solids. Not only to help them get the motor skills of getting the water into their mouth, which they now are really, really good at. It's good for speech development, I heard. So we didn't do straws at first. I know a lot of people do that. We did just open mouth for like the first 6 weeks because it's good for speech. I don't really know why, but they do be chatting. So baby-led weaning for 2 weeks, and my girl just won't eat. She's 6.5 months. She gets distracted playing with it. Any tips? Just keep going. The girls would not, the first few weeks, they weren't eating, I would say. They would get food in their mouth. They'd play. They'd throw it a little bit.
Yeah, it was like 90% play at that point.
Yeah. I think something that worked for us, too, was sweet potatoes. It was like the first food they really liked and they were showing progress at. And I know with solids, you want to just keep trying new foods, but we kind of took a period of time where we were just giving them sweet potatoes just because they were doing it well
to
get the skill. And that's okay too. Don't worry about how much food they're eating. Like, that literally does not matter the first few months of this. It's just, they're going to figure it out and it will happen. And it could take a few months. Like, every baby's different.
And like, eat with them. I think that really helps. Like, we made enough sweet potatoes to feed the girls and us when we were in the beginning.
Yeah.
That was that was a good food for us.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
we would eat with them, watch them, and
They watch
they pick up a lot from you.
Yeah. What if something gets stuck in their throat while eating? If something is like genuinely stuck in their throat, you will see the visible signs on their face. You will know that they are not able to breathe. You'll take them out and do like the baby Heimlich on them. You'll try to make sure they're, starting to remove that object. And then if they don't, then you'll do CPR and whatever. And again, just take the trainings, do the work to prepare yourself to know the signs of what steps are needed in certain situations. But choking is serious. And a lot of times with baby-led weaning, like, your baby is not choking, they are just working through the situation. Have you had to intervene with any choking? We have not had to do like full Heimlich, full CPR, but like there was one time that Sienna didn't look like she was working through what she needed to work through in her mouth as quickly as we thought she needed to. So Jonathan did take her out and just like leaned her forward, patted her back just so she could help remove the food.
What was the food?
It was the quinoa.
Something that was like globby. Like we struggled with that with like pancakes, like getting stuck to the roof of their mouth.
We didn't heat it. It was like a pre-made thing, and it wasn't heated, and it just globbed a little bit. So we were more nervous anyway. And again, she probably could have worked through it, maybe not. But in that moment, like, Dad just made a decision, and it was the right decision. So how long did it take them to actually start eating the food? 4 weeks. I think they played for 4 weeks. It was like an activity for 4 weeks.
I would have said like 2 weeks.
Really?
Yeah. But like,
well, they were taking bites at 2 weeks, like real bites, but like actually eating without it all.
Yeah, I guess, eating being like, oh my God, Ren just ate a whole egg or like a whole,
Like, I'd say like 4 weeks. Yeah. Any foods you were super nervous about? I was really nervous about allergens. I had like a 2-week period to do all of our nut butters and sunflower butter. I was nervous about that.
Allergens, I mean, even with us without having a family history of it, I got nervous with funny things. Chickpeas, for some reason. Because the chickpeas have a skin on them, and so like the girls, any baby can confuse the skin with like an irritation in their mouth, so it could cause like a false choke or a false gag.
Yeah.
We both really don't enjoy green beans and asparagus just because they're kind of stringy.
They're long.
Yeah.
Like, we don't enjoy those. It's a good way to put it. Food prep routine and tips. we're kind of figuring that out now that they're actually really eating. I have started to, in my last vlog, you probably saw, like, do muffin tin meals just as, like, a snack. I did just pick up at Target. They have those teethers that are like crackers for babies, basically. Throw some avocado on or some mashed bean puree or whatever. Those types of things can make food a little bit easier, but I know that, like, Jonathan likes to make them like a fresh meal in the morning, and so it is about just getting up a little bit earlier, making sure that they have the food ready. I'd say that helps with routine, just thinking ahead. Every Sunday we try to lay out what new foods do we want them to try this week. And honestly, this past week, they didn't really try a new food. We just kind of had a busy week, and just give yourself grace through that too. It's easy to get discouraged, but you might have a week where they don't try anything new and you just get by.
You're also cooking in such small portions that it's like you're steaming just a couple broccoli heads, or you're steaming some carrots, so it's not a lot of work on the front end. Really the back end, that's like more of the work. Embrace the mess.
The mess is wild. It's honestly, though, fun, and the girls love watching the vacuum, and I do a lot of the cleanup like in the mornings where it's like whatever before work, and I don't really mind. Like, you'll go play with them for a little bit, and you just kind of have to figure out a routine of what works to just incorporate the cleanup as you go. I know some people don't clean up right away afterwards and it feels like overwhelming. Like, my biggest piece of advice is, like, give yourself an allotted time period after every meal to clean, because it helps with, like, your mental health to know that there's not a crazy messy high chair sitting there. I know a lot of people wonder about the mess with baby-led weaning. This is messy, but it's so fun and they love it. It's an activity. It's good sensory for them.
1, get a dog. 2,
Dobby eats all of their food.
Yeah, he's gaining weight, like, off the charts. The mess is everywhere. They're gonna get foods where you didn't even know foods were possible to get. And so you just have to know that's part of the process, and it's you're doing something to benefit them. But don't beat yourself up because I get, like, worn down by the cleanup.
And I don't.
That's just a personal thing, right? So
it doesn't bother me at all. Like, I would clean up every time. The goal is that you're feeding them foods that you're cooking every day. So once the girls are on 3 meals a day, we're just going to be cooking our breakfast, our lunch, our dinner, and giving them the food that we create. So that's the ultimate goal. What are their favorite foods and least favorite? We touched on their favorites. Least favorite, I would say
anything they don't have success getting into their mouth frustrates them.
Like, there's been no foods that they haven't enjoyed. I would say.
I can't think of anything. I mean,
they like most foods, and most babies will when you incorporate foods this way, which is, like, the best part about it. It doesn't give them a chance to be picky.
It's fun to see them get excited for foods they know that they have, and they know they like it, and, like, they make this funny face when, like, they try a new food. Everything is like the first bite of a lemon. And sometimes
oh my gosh, it's so good.
But I think some of their favorite foods would be sweet potatoes, yogurt with any sort of, like, nut butter that we're using.
Oh my gosh, or with applesauce. Mix them together.
Omelets are easy and they're really good for them. Like, I do, like, a spinach omelet, or I'll do a broccoli omelet. I haven't done the pepper one yet, but we've talked about doing, like, a bell pepper omelet. Things like that.
Dad loves making breakfast in the morning.
I do.
Did you start with purees on preloaded spoons or dive right in? Already kind of mentioned that. We dove right into full solids.
But I guess with spoon work, we took the approach of never putting the spoon, like, in their mouth for them, like handing it to them or testing to see if they'll take it out of the bowl. They don't refill their own spoon right now.
That's hard.
They won't physically put it into their mouth.
Just reload it.
Assist,
There's special clothes they wear while eating. We love our high chairs. They clean so easily. I will link the high chairs down below, and I'll link the smocks that we use. They're awesome, and they clean very easily, and I would highly encourage you to invest in smocks and a few of them because they get dirty.
A couple.
Did you do any purees? There are mixed opinions about doing both. I think that if you want to do a combination approach, especially, this is something too, if you want your babies to still do solids while they're at childcare or with, you know, their caregivers, you can have them do purees and then just do solids while you're with them.
That's a great point.
A lot of people are really worried about it being either purees or solids. You can do both. Oh, and that was the last question. That just snuck up on me. I didn't even know. Hopefully that was fun for everyone. I had fun.
I had fun. Parting words of wisdom?
Honestly, I think just know that you got this. You can do it. It is so much more exciting than it is nerve-wracking, and I mean, it is still scary sometimes, but you have to trust yourself and trust your baby.
Trust them, be patient with them, be patient with yourself. It's a process that is worth it, and if you want to do it and you're serious about it and you stick it out, you'll see the benefits of it. It won't take that long. It's you know.
It won't. And long looks different for everyone. I mean, trust yourself and trust the process and know that it might take a few months, but in the grand scheme of things, that's not long. Go on your own path. Don't compare yourself to other people and just move forward.
It's a skill worth having for them, for everything that you've mentioned with the, you don't know what they'll be doing in the outside world.
And have fun. Have fun. We have fun.
Yeah.
We're actually about to go get their dinner ready right now. Thanks for hanging.
Yeah, that's what I'm here for.
Okay, ended up having a chill night, ordered pizza, and that's about it for this video. See you next time.
I dare you to be wilder.